So far in that one, the London Lightning are up just early in the second half, 53-47. They took a huge lead and outscored the A's 31-18 in the jump ball, and it didn't look like Levitt was ready for it. Neither was Dries Crouch, and his return to St. John, folks. We're underway at Harbor Station. Fans on their feet. Crouch gives it up top to Tubbs. Here's Ryan Anderson to Johnson. Not defending the top of that key too tightly. 5 to shoot. Here's Tubbs. Tubbs, a fadeaway jumper. Gets stuck, and what a way to start this one. Of course, that'll go back to the Millrats. So first possession for Ottawa, they come up empty. Last night, the Skyhawks were in Halifax. I had a chance to attend that game. Tubbs scored 31 points, while Anderson put up 22, and of course, St. John, former Millrat, Dries Crouch, had a double-double with 17 points and 12 assists. Casey Love backing in 4 to shoot, looking to go off the glass, and he banks it in.
Casey Love trying to avoid fouling out for the 4th time in 5 or 6 games.
Up top, Baines gonna take it himself. He's off the mark. Rebound on the offensive board. Tubbs a pump fake. Fresh 24 for Ottawa. Tubbs, little fancy work. Up top to Crouch. Rolls out off the screen. Long jumper, and that's off the mark. Second chance, but the Millrats able to pull it down. You can tell the paychecks recently came in for the Millrats. New flashy shoes on Anthony Anderson. Sporting those this afternoon as this is off to Blackburn here. Jermaine Blackburn finds Levitt, gonna take it himself for a 3, and he's off the mark.
Anthony Anderson guarding Dries Crouch so far this afternoon. I'm sure he has to know all of Crouch's moves with playing with him for about a season and a half or so.
It looks like Tyrone Levitt had his head down there as all alone underneath the hoop that time was Jermaine Johnson. He easily puts it home. Here's Blackburn. He's up against Anderson. Blackburn driving baseline, and he traveled. Took 1 step too many before dishing it out top. And we're even at 2 as we're just 2 minutes into this one here at the station, folks. Once again, we'd like to remind you that the Skyhawks are an expansion franchise this year in the Central Division. Playing out of the Canadian Tire Center, holds 20,500 people. As now Baines for 3. No good. Rebound loose. Anthony grabs it. Canadian Tire Center, of course, also home to the NHL's Ottawa Senators. They'll move it around the perimeter here as they find Love inside. Love backing in low, puts it up, gets it to go. Casey Love puts up the first 4 of the afternoon for St. John. And they're up 2 here early in this one. Anderson now rolls out to his left, a long 3-pointer. It's off the mark. Skyhawks certainly showing that they're not afraid to contest from long distance. Now Anderson dishes off to Herring Jr. That's a long 2, and neither team's really able to find a groove here early on. Ottawa already just 1 for 6 shooting in this one. I'd also like to mention that the St. John Millrats played in Charlottetown on Friday night. Lost that one by 3 points, where they were out-rebounded 61-43. The attempt from the outside that time was brought to you by Justin Tubbs. He's off the mark, and Ottawa cold shooting continues up top to Levitt now. St. John controls. Here's Anderson. Gives it inside to Casey Love. 5 to shoot. Up top to Herring Jr. Gonna have to get it off. Casey Love, little pump fake, puts it up. Gets it to go, rattling it in. Casey Love, the first 6 points of the afternoon for the Millrats. And so far, Ottawa has not been able to show that potent offense. They average the most points per game in the league. It's poked away. Pass was tipped. Anderson trying to crowd at his feet. He does. Drives hard with the right. Gives it up top to Levitt. Ottawa just well on defense. Blackburn puts it up and gets the roll.
Casey Love having the first 6 of the Millrats, similar to a few games ago when Jermaine Blackburn had the first 8 for the Millrats here at Harbor Station.
So make it 8-2 St. John here early in this one. Driving baseline, and no foul on the call that time. Driving hard was Jermaine Johnson.
Tops Pizza and Restaurant serves home-style cooking in a friendly environment. Visit them at 215
Jermaine Johnson is third in the league in rebounds. He averages 8.5 a game. As they dish it up top to Baines here. Baines going to get called for a travel. And the calls are all going the Millrats' way here early on. Up 8-2, they have the basketball. Refs will blow this one down. Of course, they're going to inbound from the sideline instead of the baseline. Of course, it's also the return of Jaren Jackson, former Millrats coach and 1999 NBA champion with the San Antonio Spurs. Up top to Anderson. He tries from distance. He knocks it down. Anthony Anderson. Millrats. All sorts of offense here to begin this one. An 11-2 run to start the game. Back in here, Baines, one-hand hook shot, and finally ends the run for the Skyhawks. Millrats can be searching for more here. Here's Herring Jr. against Crouch. Crouch, of course, nominated to the All-Star team last year. Participated in the dunk competition. Levitt baseline jumper. That's in and out.
With Crouch and his short frame being able to get up for a dunk, that's impressive in itself.
Inside and able to put it in that time. Jermaine Johnson. He's got 4 of the first 6 for Ottawa here this afternoon. Anderson pulls up for 3 again. That's no good. Crouch chases down the rebound. Here comes a transition game. Crouch pulls up. No good. Second chance. Anderson from way downtown. No. So many opportunities. Ottawa, very strong rebounding team. Here's Herring Jr. out to Blackburn. And it's going to be whistled down before the shot was taken. Looks like it's going to be a foul on Jermaine Johnson. It's the first foul of the afternoon in this game. Played nearly 6 full minutes without any violations. They get it outside to Anderson. Anderson trying to set something up from the outside here. Gives it down low to Love. Love spins away, puts it off the glass, won't go. And there for the rebound and throwing it away that time. Headed into the expensive seats and into the tunnel. Herring Jr. will chase it off to grab it. Careless turnovers for the Skyhawks. It was 11-2. They put up 4 to bring it back within striking distance. Just 6 minutes into this one again, we'd like to remind you that Lawson Creamer Law Firm, the proud sponsor of the St. John Millrats this year. In this 2013-2014 NBL season, Millrats first in the Atlantic. That could change, of course, depending on the result in Halifax today. Levitt to Jr. into the corner. That's a 3 by Blackburn, and it's off the mark. Millrats had some hot shooting begin this one. They've cooled down a bit, allowing Ottawa to get back in it. Into the corner, that's Crouch, and he connects. Jarice Crouch, welcome back to St. John. Draws the Skyhawks back within 2. Now looks like Junior from downtown, and he's off the mark. Both teams struggling, trying to find the scoring touch early in this one. Anderson to Crouch. Looking inside here, and going up hard that time was Jermaine Johnson, and looks like he's going to head to the line for 2 as Casey Love gets his first foul of the game. 5:17 to go here, folks. Millrats up 11-9, and we'll take a break. When we come back, Skyhawks will head to the line with a chance to tie the game. You're watching NBL basketball here on SportsLive24.net. Welcome back to St. John, folks. We're just about 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter as Jermaine Johnson heads to the line. Casey Love has committed his first foul of the afternoon so far, a 6-point effort as Johnson sinks number 1. As we mentioned, the Millrats are first in the Atlantic Division. It'll also depend on the outcome of this game, whether or not they're going to retain it as second one off the mark. Love flying in for the board. Back the other way comes St. John. Here's Blackburn up top, trying to set a high screen. Blackburn gets into trouble, gives it up top to Levitt. Levitt, 3 points. 5:17 to go here, folks. We're just about 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter as Jermaine Johnson heads to the line. Casey Love has committed his first foul of the afternoon so far, a 6-point effort as Johnson sinks number 1. As we mentioned, the Millrats are first in the Atlantic Division. It'll also depend on the outcome of this game, whether or not they're going to retain it as second one off the mark. Blackburn up top. Trying to set a high screen. Blackburn gets into trouble, gives it up top to Levitt. Levitt along two, no good, and Dries Crouch there for the rebound. Crouch outside, nice pass that time. Tubbs driving to the board, and he'll get fouled on the way up, as Justin Tubbs will head to the line. Last night he had a 31-point effort against Halifax. Foul is going to go on Anderson. It's his first of the afternoon. Tubbs off the mark on the first, and we would like to announce quite a finish at the Metro Center just moments ago, folks. Antonio Ballard hit a buzzer beater to give the Storm a 1-point win over Halifax, and that moves the Rainmen to 0-9 on the year, moves the Storm to top of the Atlantic Division. So the Millrats need to win today in order to stay on top of the Maritime Division, of course. And now Love backs in baseline, eye off the glass, but won't go. Back the other one, the fast break, tie game. Crouch in the corner. That's a three. Off the mark that time was Ryan Anderson. Little pump fake, they'll move it around up top again, and a fresh shot clock for Ottawa. Runs into a double team. Crouch into trouble. Gives it right to Herring Jr. Ahead to Anderson. All alone, and he's able to finish.
Despite pretty tight defense, believe it or not, for somewhat of a breakaway, I guess you could say.
So after a 9-0 Ottawa run that tied the game, Anderson off the forced turnover as backing in that time. Jermaine Johnson, he's got 7 points. Quickly ahead again to Anderson, underneath, and no foul called. Love scoops up the second opportunity and puts it in. So Anderson really wanted a foul there, didn't get one, as Casey Love has 8 of the Millrats' first 15. We'll give it top to Tubbs from way downtown. No good, second chance. Crouch goes all the way up to get it. And a fresh 24 for Ottawa. 3.5 to go in the first quarter. They give it to Anderson, off-balance jumper, missed it. Here's Junior. Junior goes around him, Junior flying, and he just missed the basket. He'll head to the line though for 2. What an athletic move from Doug Herring Jr. Almost got the and one play, but regardless, he'll head to the line with a chance to extend the St. John lead here. Take a look at the replay, driving all the way and went back rim, front rim, and out. The Friday night game against the Storm, 6 players from the Millrats reach double figures. Chris Matthews also continued to stay hot off the bench. He contributed with 22 points and 7 rebounds as Herring Jr. hits number 1. Junior, of course, so far best remembered in this league. It's his first year with the Millrats. Well known for winning the NBLC Player of the Week award in Week 2 for 39-point performance in Charlottetown. Johnson looking to squeeze inside to Tubbs, off the mark, ball loose, Junior has it. Is he going to slow things down? Anderson for 3. Yes, sir! The transition offense. And the Millrats up 7, folks. Crouch rolling out to his right, gets around the defense, swings it up top. Baines for 3. No good. And so far the top offense in Canada, unable to find the touch from distance here in the Port City. Blackburn a pump fake, gives it to Levitt, outside to Junior. Off the screen, doesn't see anything he liked as he'll give it right back to Levitt. Backing down, gets double team, swings it out to Blackburn. Blackburn for 3, that's good! Anderson and Blackburn combine, and the Millrats have a double-digit lead. Crouch going to swing it in the corner here to Johnson. He backs in against Love. Love lost the ball at his feet. They retain possession. Working it down to the corner here. Here's Baines. Baines puts it off the glass. He got fouled on the way up. So Terrell Baines will head to the line for 2.
Aside from seeing Dries Crouch and Jalen Jackson back in Harbor Station, also good to see Will Blaylock back in Harbor Station, even though he isn't dressed with his injury, back on the St. John Millrats bench. Good to see him back.
Of course, we wish Blaylock a speedy recovery, along with the rest of the Millrats fans here in St. John. Blaylock, of course, suffered an ankle injury in last Sunday's loss to Mississauga Power in the fourth quarter. At the beginning, it looked to just be an ankle roll, an ankle sprain of some sort. Turns out several broken spots in his ankle. He underwent surgery on Thursday night. Terrell Baines connects on the first. And the second one draws Ottawa back within 8. With that, Fred Sturdivant will check in. Sturdivant is tied for first with blocks this year in the league. 26. He also shares that category with Cavell Johnson. Also checking in is Bull Kong. Played his college ball at St. Francis Xavier. He was part of that team 2 years ago when Nationals were hosted in Halifax, and he led them all the way to the National semifinals against the Alberta Golden Bears. St. FX ultimately lost that game, finished third in the country as Junior puts it up from way downtown as the shot clock expires. Relentless defense there from the Skyhawks, spinning away Crouch, lost the ball out of bounds, and it will stay with the Skyhawks. Controversial, it looked like Crouch simply lost possession there, and Rob Spahn barking at the official. I'd like to also mention the officials for today's game: Sebastian Gauthier, Max Audet, and Reg Caulfield. Crouch from the outside. He's off the mark. Herring goes up to get it. Back the other way comes St. John. Blackburn to Love. Anderson as they work the perimeter. He splits the defense. Tries to feed a baseline to Love. It's out of bounds, and Tubbs was the last to touch it. Indeed, just not a smart play that time from Tubbs, and Jaron Jackson is going to let him know that as well. Mike Rose also checks in at the moment for Ottawa. They'll feed it up top to Anderson for 3. No good. And Sturdivant up to grab it. Crouch back the other way. Oh, look at the speed, but he's unable to finish. Bull Kong underneath. He can't finish either. Back down to Crouch. Fresh 24 into the corner. Crouch a little pump fake and will wisely play this one out. We're in the last minute of play in the first quarter, folks. Backing in Sturdivant. Baseline against Junior. Junior pokes it away. Sturdivant stays with it. Crouch, pull-up jumper. Can't hit it. Junior the rebound. And about a 15-16 differential game clock, shot clock. Anderson for 3. No good. Ball's loose. Levitt has it. Anderson, little move on the baseline, and a foul is going to be called on Dries Crouch. It'll be the 4th team foul on the Skyhawks. Only Dries is first. So now as they put the shot clock back to 22, it's a 5-second differential. As they get it right into Levitt. Easy 2, and he's off the mark. About a 0.6 differential now. Let's see if the Skyhawks will play this one out for the last shot of the quarter, and it looks like they will.
Surprisingly, Crouch being held to only 3 points so far.
Crouch controls it up top against Anderson. They'll let the clock wind down. They're at 5 seconds. They try and set the high screen. Crouch splits the defense, and the putback from Sturdivant. He gets it. So in the last second, the Skyhawks draw back within 6. It's 23-17. We played one here, and we'll be back right after this. Ball League of Canada here on SportsLive24.net. Ian Jodry here with the call as Tristan Murray will break down everything else for you. And in that first quarter, certainly a very interesting thought as the Ottawa Skyhawks have the top offense in the country. And they only hit 5 of their 18 shots there. So up top, here's Sturdivant. Looks inside for Kong. Kong off the glass, and he puts it in. That's Bull Kong, the man who played his college ball at St. FX in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, just about 4 hours here from St. John. Blackburn dishes it off to Levitt. Levitt to Junior. Looking to call for a screen. There's about 10 seconds to shoot. They'll work it up top. Matthews a long 2, and he's off the mark. Poked out, and Kong grabs the rebound. Crouch the other way. Outside. That's a 3. That's good. Knocking it down there, Mike Rose. And he draws Ottawa back within 2. It's certainly been a odd scoring afternoon the way the patterns have been. There's 11-2 Millrats. Ottawa Storm back with a 9-0 run to tie it. They feed it inside to Anderson. He's rejected there. Big block from Mike Rose. He takes it back the other way. Rose tries to work around Matthews. Can't get it to go, but the follow-up from Fred Sturdivant ties the game at 23. A 6-0 run to start the second quarter. And Tristan, I'll let you finish your train of thought.
Damien Gay getting set to check into the game for the Millrats.
Blackburn, a pump fake there in the corner. He works inside. Blackburn gets it to go, and the foul. Jermaine Blackburn a chance to complete the three-point play. He's got 7 so far. He can make it 8.
Foul is on Fred Sturdivant. That is his first foul of the game. Jermaine Blackburn will come to the line. Try to make this a three-point play.
Once again, for those folks who missed the first quarter, we'd like to remind you it was a buzzer beater in Halifax by Antonio Ballard as the Storm squeaked out the 1-point victory over Halifax. The Rainmen dropped to 0-9. And that's one of the weird and debatable things about the playoff format this year. Even though they're 0-9, of course, only 4 teams land a conference. Halifax still in a playoff spot.
I'm sure it'd be a sight to see that by the time playoffs come around, Halifax puts together a run. And
Mike Rose responds from downtown, knocking it down, tying the game at 26. All even here at the station, folks. Anderson gets between the defense, little flip pass to Matthews up top. Matthews pulls up for 3, way off the mark. And diving for the rebound, Damien Gay. There's the effort you like to see, and it's going to go back to the Millrats.
missing for Matthews, not something he's really used to. With last game here at Harbor Station on Thursday, he went what I believe was either 6 for 6 or 7 for 7 before missing a shot.
Also, of course, Matthews continued the hot streak over the weekend. A 22.7 rebound performance in Charlottetown on Friday. So the Millrats have a fresh 24 off the inbound. They'll work it up top here. Matthews tries to split the defense. Matthews goes up himself. No foul call. Lots of contact. Up to Anderson from distance. Yes, sir, Anthony Anderson. Both teams exchanging three-point plays. Back the other way and able to crowd his Vanderbeek. And up top to Sturdivant. Sturdivant, and a travel is going to be called. The Ottawa Skyhawks, as we mentioned, the most potent offense in the National Basketball League of Canada. They average 106 points per game. They're certainly not on pace to reach that yet. Skyhawks are on a 2-game winning streak. They beat Brampton on Thursday. Of course, they beat Halifax last night. Little floater in the lane from Ashton Smith. Gets it to go. Of course, you can always pick out Ashton Smith in the crowd. Sporting those bright orange kicks in the white jersey tonight. Kong moves it to the corner. Vanderbeek, and that's a 3, and that's good. Up top now, here's Ashton Smith. Smith rolling out to his left, gonna give it to Gay. Gay tries a 3. It's no good. Crouch there for the board, and the Skyhawks are back within 3 here. Gonna push it ahead to Rose from distance. Ties the game. And it seems like everything the Millrats have tried to do to extend this lead, the Skyhawks have had an answer. An 11-2 run to start the game. Ottawa respond with a 9-0 run to tie it. Work it to Smith here. Off the screen, a little floater again off the glass. The putback from Diarra was good, but Smith got fouled on the way up, so he'll head to the line for 2. Jaren Jackson having a little discussion there with the officials.
Here in the background you hear an argument between Jackson, Spawn, and an official.
So it looks like that the three-pointer that they originally ruled as a 3 on the scoreboard that time by Mike Rose was indeed actually a 2.
That'll take it down to a 1-point Millrat lead, I believe.
The question is...
And it's now, by the looks of things, I think one of the officials just ruled it a 2-pointer.
It looks like that. They're going to keep things the same here. No official announcement as Smith is off the mark on number 1. Ashton Smith, the second. Hits that one and puts St. John back out on top here, folks. Catch the Millrats back in action on Saturday as they host the Windsor Express, and Stefan Bono, the league's leading scorer. Sturdivant dishes up top to Crouch. Crouch against Diarra, certainly a mismatch. Out to Vanderbeeken, wide open for 3 as he lets it go just as the 24 seconds expires. And the Skyhawks have their first lead of the afternoon. Anderson up top. Anderson working inside, pass was tipped, it finds the hands of Gay. Out to Smith, rolling into his right. Smith lost the ball and he'll head to the line for 2.
Casey Love and Doug Herring Jr., also known as Baby Paul Pierce, set to check into the game, with Anthony Anderson and Modibo Diarra checking out.
3 team fouls in the quarter so far for Ottawa, as Ashton Smith heads to the line. Smith connects on that one. He's now 2 for 3 from the charity stripe here today. You see Jaron Jackson instructing his players as they set for the second one to tie the game, and Smith does just that. We're all knotted at 34 here, folks. 7:37 to go. Dries Crouch up top. Works it to Kong. Kong to Sturdivant. 10 seconds to shoot. Work it to Vanderbeeken. That's a 2, and it's good. Jamie Vanderbeeken showing off the scoring touch here early in this one. Puts the Skyhawks back out on top, 36-34. 7 minutes to go as Smith gets double teamed. Smith gives it up top to Gay, to Junior as they work the perimeter. Junior lost the ball at his feet, stays with it, 9 to shoot. Junior tries to split the defense. Out to Smith from distance. Yes, sir, Ashton Smith. He's got 8 points, and the Millrats are out in front, driving all the way to the hoop. And the athleticism from Dries Crouch, we're used to seeing that here at Harbor Station, but certainly in a different color uniform. Both teams exchanging a couple leads here in the second quarter. Bad pass from Smith as he was double teamed. Here comes Crouch, pulls up for 3. No good. Dries Crouch has struggled from behind the arc today. Crouch just 1 for 4 from downtown. Baseline jumper, rattling it in that time. Casey Love, he's already reached double digits. Still got 6 minutes to go before the half. Vanderbeeken and Crouch exchange the ball here. Try and set a high screen. He gets double teamed. Ball's loose on the ground, and that one's going to go back to the Millrats. So the possession indicator says it should go to the Millrats, and I believe that may be an error with the scores table, as I believe it was already given to the Millrats once. So indeed they correct things, and they'll give it to the Skyhawks. Only 8 to shoot, though. Here's Crouch, 5 to shoot. Rose gonna have to put it up. One-hand floater, and he got offensive foul on the way up. It looked like it was going to go into Damian Gay, but he drew the charge. So the Millrats remain up by 1. And with that, the Millrats are up by 1, 39-38. The score here in St. John, folks. We'll take a break and be back right after this. To you by Awkward Moments as Chris Matthews drains that three-pointer, puts the Millrats up by 4 here. Mike Rose, and there's a foul off the ball there. I'd also like to take the opportunity to update you around the league. We already mentioned PEI won on a buzzer beater by Ballard. Take the Atlantic Division first place standing. Also in London, Lightning trail 83-78 against Brampton. 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And the Windsor Express are winning against the Miracles, as there you see Jamie Vanderbeeken connecting from distance, once again drawing Ottawa back within a single point. We've got a ball game on our hands, folks. Casey Love turns his shoulders, bumps into Vanderbeeken, turn around off the glass, and Sturdivant grabs the board. And up top, here's Mike Rose. 5 minutes to go. Rose spins around the defense up top to Vanderbeeken. Working the perimeter. Anderson in the corner. Little pump fake. They find Anderson again. Anderson behind the back dribble. Up top to Vanderbeeken. From distance. He continues to knock them down. Jamie Vanderbeeken putting on a show. It's 13 points already off the bench. Junior driving baseline. Kicks it out. Corner three by Matthews. That's good. Chris Matthews. It's going to be a 2 that ties the game. Had his foot just hanging over the line. So we're all knotted at 44, 4.5 to go here in the Port City. And a foul is going to be called there on Ashton Smith. Looks like he got all ball as Ryan Anderson went up. Anderson will head to the line for 2. Ryan Anderson, we'd like to mention that he is second in the league in steals per game. Averages just under 3. Certainly a big force when trying to get the turnovers. Ashton Smith will take a seat as that's his second foul. Rob Spahn intelligently will conserve him for the second half. Ryan Anderson off the mark on number 1. So far, Ryan Anderson 0 for 4 from the field tonight, and now he's 1 for 2 from the free throw line. He's got a single point for a man who put up 22 points last night in Halifax.
Also, so far, Casey Love staying out of foul trouble, which is a good thing to see.
Tyrone Levitt backing in, going to give it out to Junior. Junior, lots of defense around the perimeter. Levitt, wide open for 3. No good. There for the board, there was Fred Sturdivant as Ryan Anderson off the screen in the corner. Goes baseline, going to swing it back up top. Rose for 3, he connects. And the nation's leading offense has their biggest lead of the afternoon. They're starting to find the touch from outside, folks. Millerettes are going to have to adjust around the perimeter and prevent those big scores. Junior driving hard. Levitt a little flip pass to Anderson. Double A driving hard to the hoop. Gets it to roll. And brings the Millerettes back within 2. It's poked out of bounds. But it will stay with the Skyhawks here. Terrell Baines, one of the starters, will check back in. Sturdivant will take the opportunity to get some rest. Just about 3.5 minutes before we call it halftime, folks, here at Harbor Station. Ottawa up by 2. Dries Crouch just returned to the Harbor Station hardwood. Baines and Anderson trying to get something going. Anderson flips it up. It's rejected by Levitt. Back the other way. Here's Herring. Here's Junior rolling out to his left. Junior going against the grain, and he lost the ball. Ryan Anderson. Here he goes to the hoop. Flips it up. Can't get it to go, and the follow-up was lost. Second try by Tubbs. That's no good either. Tubbs was unable to hold on to the basketball. They'll swing it across to Matthews. Backs up. That's a 2. That's good. Chris Matthews, he flashes the 3 to the score table, but it'll only count as 2 points. Ties the game at 48, 2.5 to go. Rose gets double teamed, flips it to Vanderbeeken. Back to Rose. He was way short, but there for the follow-up is Terrell Baines. Puts Ottawa back up 2 here. The nation's capital against the nation's oldest city. It's lived up to expectations so far here in St. John. Matthews a flip pass to Junior. Junior off to double A. Anderson trying to drive hard, gives it to Levitt. Levitt, that's a short 2. It's off the mark, and Love the second chance on the offensive board. Fresh 24 for St. John. Love tries to swing into Levitt, and Levitt got fouled. And of course, that will put the Skyhawks in the penalty. And as Levitt will head to the line for 2, as that's Vanderbeeken's second foul of the afternoon. That's played pretty disciplined. Only seen Casey Love one foul in the first half. Just a minute 52 before we head to the locker room.
Tyrone Levitt's going to shoot 2 for your Millwrights.
Tyrone Levitt, the former Rain Man. Certainly a good year to not be a member of the Halifax Rainmen. Dropping to 0-9 this afternoon as Tyrone Levitt connects on number 1. This is Levitt's first time finding the score sheet this afternoon. He was 0 for 4 from the field so far today.
Crouch, another one of the starters for the Ottawa Skyhawks, getting set to check back into the game.
Levitt goes 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Knots the game at 50.
Crouch takes out Mike Rose.
Justin Tubbs to Baines. Crouch fresh in the game and corrals it up top to Anderson. Quick 3. Knocks it down. Ryan Anderson puts the Skyhawks up 3. Anderson driving hard, trying to take it end to end, and he's going to head to the line for 2. Foul is going to go on Justin Tubbs. And of course, the Skyhawks in the penalty here in the final minute and a half of the half.
Foul is on number 15, Justin Tubbs, his first foul of the game. Anthony Anderson at the line. He will shoot 2.
Tubbs, who scored 31 points last night, so far has only been able to put up a single this afternoon as AA connects on number 1. Anthony Anderson, the 3rd highest scorer in the league. He averages 22 points a game as he knocks on both from a charity stripe. Back to a 1-point game in St. John, folks. Here's Crouch. He dishes to Anderson. Up top to Terrell Baines. Crouch finds the orange again. That pass swiped away by Matthews, but he's unable to keep it in bounds. Skyhawks will stay with it, 12 to shoot.
Jermaine Blackburn was already about more than halfway down court waiting for the pass, but unfortunately that one.
Baines gives it to Crouch. Crouch behind the back pass. Baines along 2. Rattles it in. Terrell Baines restores the 3-point Ottawa lead here. Just a minute to go before we head to the locker room. All sorts of scoring in the first half. Blackburn, a fadeaway jumper. No good. Anderson the board. Anderson works around one defender. Up top to Crouch. Long 3. Puts it in. Jerice Crouch struggled from distance early on. He connects there on the fast break and gives Ottawa their biggest lead today. Anderson works around the defense. Anderson, little flip, gets it to go. Anthony Anderson. It's now about a 13-second differential game clock, shot clock. Let's see if the Skyhawks go 1 for 2. They won't have a chance. It's a 2-on-0. Anthony Anderson in for the finish. What a swipe and what a bucket. The Millwrights are within 2. It's a 1-second differential game clock, shot clock. And the Skyhawks are wisely going to take the last shot of the half and avoid giving the Millwrights a chance to respond. Jerice Crouch going to have to escape Anderson first. 5 to shoot. Crouch up top, little pump fake. They lost the ball. Going to have to let it go at the buzzer. Matthews. They didn't get it off in time. Chris Matthews. They're celebrating at Harbor Station. Spawn is motioning to count the bucket. The officials are going to discuss this one, and they count it! It's good! Jaron Jackson says there should have been no shot initially, as there should have been a travel. We'll take a look at the replay.
Folks, that gives us halftime. We are on time.
Of course, no review in the National Basketball League of Canada, so we head to the locker room, not at 58. Second half coming up right after this.
Proceeds going to the United Way. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor for